And just
Thanks
introduce
for
you.
questions. Shout out to everybody that's on the line so far. I'm Raquel, Pretty Beast Miller. I'm sorry if my speech is a little weird. I got my rubber bands on my braces today, so my speeches might be a little bit weird. But what's up? I'm the interim WBA champion, and I'm here to rock. So what's up?
So let me just wind it in. You are tuning to Box Story. My name is Noble, and today we have the champ. We have officially a champ with us, the WBA interim super welterweight champ, Raquel, the Pretty Beast Miller. Talk to the people, Raquel.
Yo, what's up, you guys? I'm Raquel, Pretty Beast Miller. You guys can check me out, and follow me on my journey to a world title. Shout out to my best friend. She's in the comments here. Brown, you should definitely get her on your show because she's amazing. She's up and coming as well. I'm 10-0, handling business and doing my thing.
So one of the things that I noticed about you is you even said yourself in the interview, you're one of the best, but the world don't know it yet.
I definitely believe that. I think that it's been really challenging to be able to get fights. It's been, it's a challenge for fighters as a whole, especially women fighters. And I feel like I haven't been able to shine on the highest level yet. I haven't been able to fight on national TV. So I'm definitely looking forward to that when that time comes.
No, I agree, because I've done my research in you, and you wasn't a good amateur. I wouldn't even use the word good. You was an outstanding amateur.
Thank you.
Way over 30 fights, Golden Gloves champion, American Amateur National Female Champion, silver medalist in the World Amateur Championships. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal.
So, I've been in the game for a while now. I was an amateur for about 4 years. I was really not fortunate. I worked my butt off for it, so I deserved it. But I went to the Olympic trials with about 10 fights. I got to go to the World Championships on Team USA with about 11 fights. I got a silver medal at the Worlds. So I've been grinding and putting in the work for years. I'm a several-time national champion. Got a couple of medals internationally. So it's very unfortunate that there's a lot of women, including, myself and so many women like me, that are very deserving of the platform, but aren't given time to shine and aren't given that space. So it's time for us to create our own. And that's what I'm in the process of doing.
That's something that I definitely agree on, because looking at your resume, and quite a few of the other females around your time, you lot were doing some amazing things. How I think the boxing media presents it is that Clarissa Shields was the only female fighter there at the time doing stuff. But it's fighters like yourself who has an amazing amateur reservoir, so many accomplishments, so many national titles, but they've almost refused to shine spotlight on you guys or let everyone else know there's other female fighters who are doing stuff on the scene.
Absolutely. And that's a big issue. And that's one of the things that I take to the heart. And I feel like my place in this sport is really about reaching out to these women, giving us a platform, because obviously it's not going to be given to us. So I have to create it for myself. And so I'm definitely working on some things behind the scenes to make it to where women like myself will no longer be in the shadows. We'll be able to shine. We'll be given the platform. We're going to make our own platform and stop waiting for some of these promoters to put us in position and put ourselves in position. So that they understand that there's way more fighters than Clarissa Shields, and it's nothing to take away from her. She's accomplished a lot of stuff and all that's great, but there's so many other women that are very deserving. And it takes more than one person or two fighters to build a sport. It takes, a big push. It takes a lot of us to get recognition so that the world sees that there's a lot of talent, there's a lot of competition, and there's a lot of good fights that can be made. But unfortunately, that's not happening.
Yeah, like I said, at that time I was looking around when it was amateur. I think there was at least a good 4 or 5 girls in that squad who could have potentially went on to be the Olympian for.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear cut just Clarissa, because the year of the Olympics in 2012, you won the women's amateur championship, national championship. You won the world championship silver medal. In any other circumstance, that was a male fighter, that straight away would qualify you for the Olympics, correct?
So it's very complicated with the Olympics. And a lot of people that aren't inside of the sport, they don't really understand how it works. So unfortunately, 2012 games, that was the first time ever women were allowed to go to the Olympics. So they only gave women 3 weight classes, which was 112, 132, and 165. So you have women there's 10 weight classes. So you have women from all these different weight classes, like you have the 107 girls, I think it's 107, if I'm not mistaken, and you have the 23-pound girls. Everybody's cramming to get to these weight classes. You see what I'm saying? So you had the best fighting the best every single night, and we weren't really given a platform to have everybody fight at their natural weight. Like I fought at 165 at the amateurs, but I literally was really like a 152 pounder. But I'm like, I'm going wherever the money is at. So if that's the Olympic weight class, that's where I'm going to. You know, same thing for Tierra Brown. She's a gold medalist. She had to go up to 132. Very small for the weight class, but we don't have any other options. So I'm really happy that in the next games, there will be 6 weight classes for women instead of the 3. But then that's like, you know, you're fighting people. So you take, for example, you're new to the sport. Because when I first came into the game, I was new. Nobody knew who I was. I didn't have any fights. So you're fighting against politics because you have the girls that have been around, they're veterans of the sport. They feel like they're more tested and tried internationally. Here you come, a newcomer. So you don't only have to win a fight. You got to damn near stop everybody to get the decision because you're not known on the, you know, big stage, so to speak.
I hear that. Definitely that will apply. The person who may be the favorite, it's not always the best, it's the favorite, or the person who's in there the most who's going to come out
yes.
to the bit. Because
definitely so.
In one of your interviews, I think you said you was with the USA team for about 4 years.
Yes.
So you was,
so I was on Team USA so basically what happened is I went to the Olympics. I went to Olympic trials, at 165. And I was pretty novice at the time. Like I said, I had about 11 fights. I went to the Olympic trials. I won a bronze medal. I had about 5 fights, won a bronze medal, and went down to 152, which was more of a natural weight class for me. Won the nationals at 152, which allows you to qualify for Team USA. Team USA went to the Worlds, got a silver medal, and then that's how I qualified and was able to go to the Olympics 2012 as a training partner. So, like I said, you're not given those opportunities when your weight class is not there, but you just keep putting in the work and handling business. And so, you know, Shields and I have had many battles, and, you know, some of them I feel like I should have gotten a decision, but because I wasn't the favorite, so to speak, I wasn't given those decisions. And it's not just me that has experienced that. It's a bunch of women that experience the same thing.
So, of course, you had your time in the amateurs with Clarissa. Do you know, we'll get back to that at a later point. I'll say that towards the end. Another opportunity that I know you've had, Cecilia Brækhus offered you to come to one of her camps.
She did.
That's a big opportunity because we know Cecilia's been 11, 12 years undisputed welterweight champion. You know, if she's asked you to come to the camp, you're bringing something to the table.
Yes, absolutely. So I've been really fortunate. I've gotten invited to several camps, and I did get invited to Brækhus' camp. Unfortunately, it conflicted. I had a prior engagement, so I didn't get to go to camp with her. So hopefully that opportunity comes back around and I'll be able to help her get ready. But, you know, definitely. And shout out to Cecilia because she's been a game changer in the sport. She's been a pioneer and, you know, I got a lot of respect for her.
Yeah, Cecilia's done it big in the sport. Like I said, for about 10, 11 years, undisputed welterweight champions. All comers, all challengers, they just came short. They just couldn't beat Cecilia. But I do know recently she was defeated by Jessica McCaskill on the upset. Shout out to Jessica McCaskill and Rick Ramos. And they got the rematch coming up. So
yes, March 13th. So I'm excited to see that rematch and see who's going to make the adjustment to be able to really take home that win. I'm excited about that.
March is actually quite a big month for women's boxing. They've got the card on the 5th in Flint, Michigan that you're going to be on. They got the Brækhus McCaskill rematch. I believe another fighter, Hannah Rankin, she's fighting in Cape Town for some kind of.
It's gonna be a big month for women in March. You know, I'm really hoping that everything goes great. I'm not exactly sure if I'll be fighting on that card. I am, you know, hopeful of it, but like I said, there's some political things going on. There's some stuff behind the scenes that I'm really not privileged to speak on. But as I said, this year is the year I'm not sitting back and waiting for anybody to put me on. I'm not taking pennies on the dollar this year, and I'm not begging for opportunities. So like I said, it's going to be some things that's changing this year. So don't be surprised, be on the lookout, because like I said, I'm done with, you know, being looked over. I'm done with the nonsense, and it's time to step up and really, you know, use my platform to really help further women boxing, even if that means I have to sacrifice being able to fight myself.
Yeah, well, of course, for this interview today, I've done my research on yourself, watched some of your interviews, and this things that you've been saying for quite a while now. I think I was looking at interviews from 2016. You're saying, I'm not taking pennies to fight. I'm not taking chump change to fight these big names. If you're going to put me on a show,
sorry, y'all. Phone drop. Sorry, I'm back.
Technicality, it happens.
Yeah, technicality in the game. But I'm back.
let me
But
just
yeah, because it's not just about the money. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about the money, even though, let's be real here. It's not even about the fact that the women fighters aren't getting money. They're literally getting pennies compared to the men. And then you can argue like, okay, well, it's not as competitive. There's not as enough people. He's having technical difficulties.
all
Too,
around,
y'all. It's
all
I don't know.
around.
Contagious. I just put that on him and now he's dropping it. But it's not just about that, because you take so many women fighters, such as myself, and they're giving us pretty much, oh, you have a 10-round championship fight. There's no reason in the world we should be getting $4,000 and $5,000. So when I speak to the people, they need to understand, I'm not talking about that they're giving us something that's actually, sustainable. You can't make no living off of having a championship fight for $4,000 or $5,000, even $10,000. So let's break it down and let's do the math. You get a championship fight, which is ridiculous to fight a 10-round fight for $8,000 to $10,000. You pay your manager, you pay your cut man, you pay your trainer, then you pay your taxes. You're left with like, $4,000 or $5,000. So you tell me how that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? And then you have these girls are saying, oh, you're turning down contracts. Like even Shield said, oh, you turning down contracts to fight me. Like, well, no, let's be serious here. Let's be clear. I haven't turned down no contract that was either actually worthy for you to fight me. You offered me a fight that was actually your pro debut where they tried to give me $8,000. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, what? Like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I'm very accomplished at the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? I'm a upcoming pro. You're not about to play me. And then when I said, okay, well, let's negotiate the terms. Let's make it to where it's a multiple fight deal. Let's make it to where it's attractive to where our fight is actually, showcased. No. So then no. You see what I'm saying? And then you try to take it back on the other end and say, oh, she's scared to fight me. She's ducking these fights. And it's like, let's be real here. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have a machine behind you or you have people with the money behind you, of course you can put yourself in position. And then you say, now, oh, you got to get a title to fight me. But wait a minute, you bought up all the vacant titles. So let's be real here. You know what I'm saying? Like let's talk facts. If you're gonna talk about it, let's talk facts, because I be tired of the BS. But like for me, I know who I am, so I don't really have to jump online every time and go live and go this and go that. But if you ever speak to me, I'm gonna speak to you nothing but facts and be truthful about it. So it's like the bullshit I've ever ducked a fight. Come on now, I wouldn't be a fighter if I was scared. I could do anything I want to do with my life. I choose to fight because I know I can.
Talking of titles, I watched your interview with Drea. I think it was yesterday. I watched your interview with Drea. You said you was meant to fight in December for the full world title.
Yes.
What happened there?
So unfortunately, Hannah and I were scheduled to fight in December. It was supposed to be a really big card. Hannah and I scheduled, we signed the contract, but unfortunately that didn't happen. That didn't transpire. It's supposed to be a pretty big fight for all women fighters that were going to be on the card. And we trained our butt off for about a month and a half. And then out of nowhere, they were like, oh no, we can't get the fight together. Supposedly it was about Corona, but other fighters still fought. Other people still made it happen. So I don't know. It sounds like BS to me, but that was the excuse that was given, that it was because of Corona that we weren't able to fight. But other fighters still fought in Vegas, and doesn't seem logical to me, but
hey,
here I am.
That's boxing for you. There's a lot of politics.
Yes.
Yes,
it's a lot of that in the sport.
There's a lot of, it is what it is. Can't really do much about it. But something you can do something about is the 5th of March, the big card in Flint, Michigan. You'll be defending your WBA interim super welterweight title. You said you haven't got any information on who it's against yet.
I don't have any information about who it's against. Like I said, there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm not able to speak about right now because of legal issues. So I don't know. I'm hoping that works out. But like I said, this is a very interesting, politically charged sport. And I'm tired of sitting back and just, accepting anything or just kind of hoping and wishing. And then they throw BS at you and then expect you to jump at it. Like I've been very fortunate to be successful in other areas to where I don't have to rely solely on boxing for income. But if I did, I wouldn't be able to box anymore if I relied solely on boxing as an income. And that has to change for women fighters, because it's not like we train 60% of the time and then men change 100% of the time. No, you can't really be a professional athlete and still be making a salary that even, the bare minimum is being paid to you. It doesn't really work like that. And that's why change needs to happen. It needs to happen now.
Yeah, I fully understand that. Well, I guess it applies even more for women's boxing. It does apply same for male boxers, even in the UK. But for women boxing, it's still something new that's breaking into the scene. And there's always been discrepancies between male and female pay from the beginning.
Sorry,
of
my
time.
dog is, I don't know, she trying to protect me. I don't know what's going on.
Right,
Back there trying to protect me.
I'm safe. But yeah,
But yes, very much so. You know, like very much so. And like I said, it's not about like women are getting, you know, maybe 20, 30% less. No, we're getting like 90% less. And on top of the 90% less, we're not even getting those opportunities to fight on Showtime, to fight on big networks. So how do you expect to even build a sport if you're not even giving us the opportunity? So it's like, the more I think about it, I recognize that they don't understand the value in women boxing. They don't understand that it's a very, very, you know, lucrative business if you put the time in. And that's the difference between boxing and MMA, because they decided to promote the women equally. And now you see what happened. Women are actually able to sustain that, you know, being a professional fighter, being able to make money, being able to do endorsements and so on, because they gave them that platform. So it's obvious with these old school promoters that they don't understand the value in us. So it's time for us to stop thinking that we have to be signed to be successful. I felt like I was more successful with making more money and having more exposure when I wasn't signed. Mm-hmm. And fighters think, and that's like any fighters that's on here that's listening, no, you are your brand. You are in charge of, you know, the dollar amount that you can make. So stop thinking that you got to sign to somebody for them to solidify who you are or to give you that opportunity. Build your home base, you know what I'm saying? Have those local fights, build up your resume, you know what I'm saying? Make your own corporation and then sign to somebody as a partnership and not as an actual fighter under them. Because when you sign to somebody and you're under them, now they have control over your career. Like, no, it's time to stop that. It's time to change that narrative, because you're beating down their door for opportunities and it's not coming. And then people are steady saying, when are you fighting? When are you fighting? But you don't know. So it's like, you got to take the driver's seat in your career, especially as women. Mm-hmm. And that's where I'm at now.
So the fight on the 5th. So who are you currently managed by, actually?
I'm managed by Lou DiBella right now. Well, excuse me. My promoter is Lou DiBella. I am managed under Split T Management. Thank you. Someone said I'm beautiful. Thank you.
Pretty beast.
But yes.
The fight on the 5th of March, how did that come about? Who was that? Lou DiBella, or was that your management?
I think that's a Lou DiBella thing. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that that's from Lou DiBella's camp. Yes.
Okay, because of course, in boxing, as we know, there's many secrets, there's many dark things that go on behind the scene. But from the onset of this looks like a grand opportunity for yourself, because it's meant to be a pay-per-view card. At first, it was meant to be an all-female card, but I see they put some males on there. But at this point of time, it's majority female cards, headlined by the town hero of Flint, Michigan, Clarissa Shields, who's competing for the WBA title. Well, the last WBA title, Hannah Gabriels has that. And you're the interim champion.
Yes.
So this looks like something's being lined up here. You know, you make a statement, she defends her title, you're in the same building, no one can avoid each other, no one can avoid that awkward conversation around back in the locker room.
Yes. So, you know, I'm really hoping, thank you guys. I see a lot of my people in the comments and I just want to say thank you to them. I appreciate them, you know, so much. But it's a big opportunity. And I'm hoping, like I said, that it can all work out and materialize. And it's unfortunate that, you know, these big fights could have been happened. They should have been made, you know, and it's just like the Shields fights I've been looking forward to, the Hannah Gabriel fights I've been looking forward to, the Christina Hammer, you know, the Marcela Cornejo. It's been numerous fights that, what's up with Killer Tay? That's one of my favorite rappers in the building. So with so many big fights that could have happened and should be happening. So I'm hoping that everything works out for the 5th. Like, I'm dying to get in front of the cameras and fight for my fans and show them, show them, because they haven't been able to see me fight on the national stage. So I'm really hoping that this works out. I don't know that it's going to work out, but I'm hopeful.
No, 100% it will work out. Like, you're just going there to pick up your title. You're just going there to get your number one contender spot. And this will be the biggest event fight you fought in. Biggest stage.
Yes. Yes. So we'll see. You know, we'll definitely see. And like I said, even if this doesn't materialize, there's going to be some big things happening this year. You know, God willing, everything will work out.
From this opportunity, this is those points in the careers where it's kind of make or break, get pushed to the sky kind of thing. Because you're fighting in front of thousands more people than you have ever fought in front of before. People recognize you. They'll say, oh, she's 10-0. She's got the WBA interim belt. Oh, who is she? Why hasn't she been recognized before? Oh, she can actually box. Oh, she's actually pretty decent. Oh, she's got more knockouts than Clarissa. Oh, she's number one mandatory for the Chris's belt. Okay, the people put their mind together. The people see it. You can't hide it from the public. You can't hide it from the people. Once it's in the public,
Absolutely.
kind of what you want. I've been watching the videos that you and Carissa, I've been seeing the back and forths. She has something to say, you have something to say, she has something to say. And this is one of those fights which potentially could be a massive, massive fight if it's just built up in court and attention. You guys have been duking it out from the amateurs. From the amateurs up until now, you guys are still seems to have that rivalry between you going. So just picked up by the right crowd, the right camera crew.
Yeah, like the right crowd, the right camera crew, it can be an opportunity to really show that, we've been here, we've been waiting. Like, what's up? Talk is cheap. Yeah, let's make it happen. Like, let's stop making excuses and make it happen. Because I'm here. I've been here. I'm going to be here. So let's go.
I think as well, sometimes people are a bit skeptical when they see a fighter come onto the scene. It's like, oh, you just talk. But no, you've got the resume to prove that. Look at your amateur experience. World amateur champion, national champion, golden glove champion, Team USA for 4 years, call up from the senior brackets. You've got all the credentials behind your name for you to have to state that I am good. I'm not good. I'm outstanding. I'm one of the top fighters in the weight class. I've just never been given that shine. And once that shine gets put onto me, hey, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Exactly. So I'm really, really hopeful that everything works out. And I thank you for sharing your platform with me. I got a lot of love for the UK. I've been to London several times. And I really, really, love jumping across the pond and coming to visit. So hopefully it warm up that I can come see you guys. It'd be way too cold. It'd be way too cold. But, I definitely got a lot of love for the UK. Definitely so.
Yeah, when you come over, I'll throw you in direction of some sparring partners. You can get some good work in.
Yes, I would love that. Definitely so. So, definitely keep an eye out on me. And then while I have you guys, I got a nonprofit organization. It's very near and dear to my heart. It's called Ladies Empower. You guys can check it out at ladiesempower.org. It's a mentorship for young people that speak on, mental health, physical health, and really just kind of being a bridge between, teenagehood to adulthood and helping them transition successfully. I got my clothing brand, thepbbrand.com. You guys can check it out as well. Yes. So it's just really about, creating a platform for yourself and, saying no to all of the naysayers and just making your own path, being your own boss and creating your own wave. So I just appreciate everybody that showed me so much love and support because you guys really keep me pushing. And I appreciate that so much.
100%. I can see with yourself when you talk and how you compete, you have confidence in your abilities. You know how good you are. You know you ain't got a sign right now. You know that you're going to get it at some point in time. So you ain't going to sell out for no 8K for a debut fight against the hottest American prospect that's been known to the boxing scene.
Yes.
Only 8K? Come on.
Yeah, and that's kind of what, what I'm saying? So I hate the fact that, you're put in these situations where, shout out to you guys, I love them. But you're put into these situations where you're like, do I just go with what's been happening? But it's like, if you keep going and doing the same things that you've always done, you keep getting the results that you've always gotten. So I'm in that space, or do I keep fighting for the women and, saying that, one step in front of the other is going to work out? Or do I do something drastic and different and say, you know what, it's time to make a change. It's time to make a stance. So it's a challenging time right now. And I just thank you guys for rocking with me, but it's all going to work out. I got faith in my journey. I got this far off of blood, sweat, and tears. And, I'm here. I believe in myself. I believe in my ability. And I know it's going to come. As long as I keep making the moves I need to make and handling the business, it's going to take care of itself.
I think, especially this year, 2021, fighting on the show on the 5th, I think that could be the point. I think that could be the breakthrough point. After that, I do think things will start shooting up to the sky. Like I said, you're both fighting. You're both in the same building. You're number 1 in the WBA. You're number 3 in the WBC. Interim title holder.
What's up, Art? Yes. Yeah, so it's time. And it's been time. And I've been putting it in, and it's just like, so we'll see, because it's time and it's been time. And, I'm excited about it. And I'm ready to just kind of rock and make it happen. And it's not even just about Shields. I want to fight all of the big names. I've been wanting to fight the big names. I've been asking for those fights for years now. And it's time to stop asking. It's time to start making them happen maybe on my own, because obviously, it's not happening other ways.
I know you're not lying with that, because in the last fight, you went out to Canada as the away fighter to go versus the undefeated Mexican girl. I think you won almost every round on the card. Easy work. Brushed it off like it was nothing.
And not only that, just to kind of give some context to that, they gave me that fight on a 2-week notice. You see what I'm saying? Like, we never had a camp. That fight wasn't really intended for me. That was just like I was pretty much really upset and angry about the fact that I wasn't getting any fights. Like, I signed on to make big fights happen, to be able to fight on television. If not, I could have kept fighting on local shows doing. Sorry, guys. I'm back. Sorry. But even with that, so they called me last minute. It was like, okay, we got a title opportunity for me. And I'm like, you know what? It's time to lace up your boots and make it happen. But they literally gave me that fight on a 2-week notice because Hannah Gabriel got injured. So that opportunity wasn't really for me, but you know, the universe aligned and I was able to just go and get it. But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about when it comes to women boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go and you handle business, but there's numerous titles I could have been fought for. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like why? I'm more deserving, I feel like, or just as deserving as so many women. I seen, Hannah Rankin, she's on her, 3rd or 4th title opportunity, and I'm still waiting for one. So that's what I'm saying. I'm tired of waiting, period. Like there's no more waiting. There's no more asking for opportunities. I'm taking opportunities or I'm making them for myself. Even if that means I have to create something that's never been done before, I'm willing to do it.
You mentioned something about management previously in one of your other interviews. I think from your boxing career, I think managing female fighters going into the future would be something definitely catered to you. You understand the game, you know how it is. It's good when fighters have been in the amateurs and professionals because they see it from both sides. They know how the development, the structure works from grassroots levels. You've got a full understanding of that, how hard it is for opportunities, how despite women growing as a sport, possibly only the top 5% of women boxers get that coverage in the sport.
Or the top 3%, because it's like, name me 5 or 10, boxers that you've seen on, major platforms that you've seen, heavily promoted and pushed. You haven't, So it's just like you have 1 or 2 people.
I can name 2.
And that's why. And so don't be surprised if you see me in the, near future promoting my own shows, doing my own thing and really creating a platform for other women to fight on, because I understand that it's not out here for us. And it's bigger than just kind of trying to pave the way. It's creating the way if we have to, because it's obvious to me that that's what needs to happen. And like you said, I feel like with the fighters, I love fighting. I love boxing, but I know what it takes. I've been in the game for 10 years now. And so I want to create something that's fair for fighters. You shouldn't be fighting for pennies on the dollar, putting your life on the line every time you step into the ring. You should at least be able to have a retirement account. You should at least be able to take care of your family in a proper way. It shouldn't be like you fight, you pay your rent, you maybe buy yourself some new shoes, and then it's nothing. That shouldn't be the case.
Boxing shouldn't be an expensive hobby.
And that's what it's really, that's what it feels like very often. And like, that's why you have to really take your hat off the fighters, because it's, we're in here day in and day out. Most of the, money from the sport is going to 5 to 10% of the sport as a whole. And everyone else is out here just chasing their dreams and their goals and hoping that they make it to that next level. And a lot of people will never make it to that level, especially when you have so many greedy people, shady promoters that'll lock you into a contract. You have matchmakers that are calling fighters for fights, giving them pennies on the dollar, keeping 10 to 20,000 in their own pocket. But you got to get in there and fight. You got to risk your life. So it's like, it should be worth it.
No, definitely I agree. And of course, the game always needs people coming in with fresh blood, fresh energy, fresh mindsets to change things up, to make things better and smoother going on forward.
Yes.
Women's boxing, my first myself, of course, I was a boxer previously in the UK. Then after that, I've gone into some boxing research. And there's many, many things that have happened in women's boxing. Women have had to scrape, fight, claw for their rights. And every few generations, women's boxing booms. But then it almost kind of feels like they forget about it and it goes back to square one again. So before 2012, before women went professional, I'd say it was the late 2000s, there was a boom of women's boxing. You had like the likes of Chrissy Morton, Holly Holmes, St. John, Christine.
Yeah, they were. That was why I wanted to become a boxer. I remember sitting at home. My mom was a really avid, big boxing fan. We watched Mike Tyson, and it was magic seeing Christy Barton on the undercard. She was like, since she was kicking butt, she was taking names. She had a pink, boxing uniform on. She was knocking chicks out. And I was like, oh, that's me. Like, I need that. And so that's what it was, that they should have carried the torch from there, because it was a platform that was already made. But unfortunately, they didn't see the value in it. And so that's, like you said, it fell way back down. And then you still had amazing women, pushing through. Like one of, my good friends is Ava Knight. And I remember her grinding day in and day out in the gym and literally making under 10,000 for a championship fight. And it's like, why? You know, a lot of fighters are very talented, very educated, beautiful women in and outside of the ring, and that are very interesting. They got a lot of stuff going on. But if you don't give us a platform to shine, how are we able to really, you know, get to the next level? How are we able to really show our skill? We're not. And it's like, it's time for elevation, period. Even if it comes from one of us ourselves, that's elevating the sport, because we can't keep waiting for these promoters that have been around for years. And obviously, you know, maybe you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Get a new puppy. And that's it. You know.
No, I definitely hear that, because like I said, over time, for the last 25 years, there have been many occurrences of women doing great things in boxing, but it seemed to happen in bursts and spurts. They'll give one or few opportunities for that generation, but the rest of them kind of just have to fall back. And I think now, at the time, women boxing Olympics was great. Women becoming undisputed champion was great. Women headlining shows was great. But for the rest of the women, the rest of the 97%, they need to kind of be put forward as well, because there's still a lot of fighters out there that love the opportunities, but they just don't get them. Like I say, for example, your case, I just still can't get over your case that you was on the amateur team, USA team for 4 years, world championship medals. I'm a boxing fan myself. I'm thoroughly a big boxing fan, boxing researcher, reporter. Why am I only getting wind of this female now? Why am I only hearing of her story now? Like, I thought there would have been a lot more. On your debut, for example, I thought there would have been a lot more press around it, a lot more action. There's recently been a girl who's turned professional, Shakita. She was in the amateur team with you.
I think, is she from New York?
Hemingway.
Oh, see, I didn't even know she went pro. See, that's the thing. And she's very talented. You know, she's been around for years. She's been an amateur for years and very decorated. So it's like, but no one hears about that. No one even knows. You know, and I guarantee you she ain't make more than, you know, $5,000.
If even that. When I was looking through the amateur records at that time, I think it was yourself, Clarissa, Francion, and Hemingway. You four were definitely like the 4 elite girls around your weight class.
Over and over.
Over and over. Like, every year the national title and Golden Glove Championship, it was just between you four. It was between you four for like a good solid period of time. And she went pro, I think it was last year, end of last year. Ain't not gonna ring no bells about this.
Yeah, there's no buzz, you know, and that's the thing, that like we have to create, like everything that I've accomplished so far in my career has been a lot of just off of entrepreneurial efforts. Has been me pushing myself, me promoting myself, me, you know, making it happen and negotiating. And so it's just like, it's very challenging. You're not just being a fighter. You're pretty much using and working every role that you have to make your career get to the next level. And thank you.
Talking about
love from the UK.
The UK loves you out here.
Yeah, I love them. I love you guys. You guys are dope.
Talking of entrepreneurship, the Pretty Breeze brand of clothing seems to be doing very, very successful, very, very well.
Yes, I've been very fortunate to do well, and I haven't even got to take it to the next level that I want to take the brand, because I'm in the gym still and I'm still competing. So once I hang my gloves up, it's really going to go to the next level, and I'm very excited about that. And I've been very fortunate to have a lot of people that love and support me and buy my gear, and I'm thankful.
At this point of time, is it just the female brands? Have you got any men's lines coming out?
So the brand is the PB brand, and it's pretty much for the men. It's really just about pure beast, pretty beast. Maybe a man, if you want to be a pretty beast, that's cool too. But nope, I definitely have both, and I'm definitely growing both of the lines. I have some sauna suits coming really soon. I got boxing gloves, I got hand wraps. So I'm definitely staying true to my roots. I want to sell things that I know fighters need and that I feel like we are lacking. And I also got some dope pieces, and I think I stay fly. So, you know, I got some sauce for them too. But
you're styling on them. You're doing them and you're looking good on them too.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm excited. Some great things coming. You know, thank you guys for following me this far on my journey. You know, thank you for sharing this platform with me. I'm very excited. Like I said, you guys follow me, check me out. You can check out the website, thepbbrand.com, my nonprofit organization, ladiesempower.org. We got some great things coming this year. We got a couple of suicide prevention campaigns we're doing. We got Fight Like a Girl. It's going to be the 5th annual one. It's just some great things happening. I'm very excited about it. Some big fights are going to happen this year. And if not, some big moves are going to be being made. So stay tuned, because it's about to go down. It's about to get real serious. So Don't be surprised.
2021 is going to be a big year. 2021 is going to be a big year.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for sharing your platform with me and having me. I got to go because I got training coming up soon, but I'm very, very thankful.
You put that work in. You get it in.
Thank you.
Because on the 5th, I'm going to be expecting a big performance.
Oh, definitely. If it happens, you can definitely count on that.
A bigger fight will be coming after that. I'm sure of it. Mandatory, number one.
Definitely.
Raquel, from Rack to Rack. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We'll stay in touch before the fight, and I'll have you back sometime, yeah?
Definitely. Thank you. Okay.
Good session.